Incredible dunks in the middle of a tense game are a huge part of why fans love basketball. Nothing beats seeing a player rise up and throw down a spectacular slam. Whether it's a poster, an alley-oop slam, or a flashy show, nothing gets a crowd going like an all-time slam dunk. And today, we're counting down our picks for the 8 best dunks in the history of the NBA. So stay tuned. Starting with number 8, Derrick Rose on Goran Dragic. Before he tore his first ACL in his 4th season in the NBA, 2011-12, Derrick Rose was one of the best and most explosive players in the league. Rose was on a fast break. He was hard to stop, and he could jump out of the gym. That's exactly what he did when the Chicago Bulls played the Phoenix Suns on January 22nd, 2010. Rose went up for a two-handed poster on the Suns guard, Goran Dragic, to hit one of the greatest dunks in NBA history. From the first jump to putting the ball behind his head to landing hard on the floor, this is one of the most exciting dunks the fans have witnessed in the NBA. To put a bow on this, a Bulls commentator was left shocked and said, "You can't be serious. I want to go higher." In his prime, Rose was the real deal. He was exciting to watch and a threat to play against. It's too bad that NBA fans would only get to see the former league MVP put on shows like this for just over a year more before his career changed. At number 7, we have Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal alley-oop. Even though there are far more impressive and better dunks on this list, we don't think there are any more iconic than this. NBA fans can almost immediately picture the scene when they read or hear Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal lob. The alley-oop the two made in the 2000 Western Conference Finals is the best of all time. June 4th, 2000. In the Western Conference Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers played each other. Bob Costas on the call said, "Kobe to Shaq." The cheers from the crowd and Shaq's happy face as he pointed at a young Kobe. This was a dunk that will go down in history. The Lakers were the best team in the league, so they were the top seed in the playoffs. They beat the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns before facing the Portland Trail Blazers in the Western Conference Finals. With 10:28 left in the game and Portland up 75-60, it looked like Los Angeles was about to have an epic meltdown. They were about to become the 7th team to lose a 3-1 series lead. Instead, the Lakers chose one of the best comebacks and dunks in NBA history to win Game 7. Moving on to number 6, it's LeBron on Jason Terry. From the start of LeBron's career, it was clear that he was here to dominate the NBA. LeBron James, Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, and Dwayne Wade were all over Jason Terry. The simple, straightforward description of the Kings' most famous dunk, but words fail to do it justice. Many people say that James' time with the Miami Heat was his best, or at least his most successful. It's hard to argue with that when you see dunks like these. At this point in his career, LeBron was ruthless. After this vicious dunk, he stared down Terry to make an even bigger statement against the Celtics super team of 2013. James seems to be a big fan of the dunk that put Terry on the floor and almost made everyone forget about Brandon Knight's situation from the week before. He told Tom Withers from the Associated Press that this dunk was one of my better ones, and the fact that it happened to JT, who sometimes talks too much, made it even better. Regardless of what anyone says, this dunk definitely belongs on any top best dunks list. Next up on number 5, Baron Davis on Andrei Kirilenko. A dunk similar to Kobe's lob to Shaq was bound to make the list sooner or later. The dunk might make the list for being similar to the iconic dunk from 2000, but the dunk itself is amazing and a spectacle to watch. During the 2006-07 season, the Golden State Warriors were by no means favorites to make the NBA playoffs. They got into the playoffs as an 8th seed and went head-to-head with the 1 seed Denver Nuggets. But Baron Davis had different plans. The team was titled the Golden State We Believe Warriors, which point guard Baron Davis embodied. The 6'3" Davis and the Nuggets power forward Andrei Kirilenko, who's 6'9", threw down a powerful slam that sent the big man to the floor and got a standing ovation in the Bay. The atmosphere was wild, and the fans were left in shock as Baron Davis rocked the world. The team that wasn't expected to win went on to beat the Nuggets and win the series with the help of this poster dunk. Warriors fans hold this dunk close to their hearts even today. To them, this dunk represents so much. Moving on to number 4, Paul George's 360 windmill. Paul George, a small forward who used to play for the Indiana Pacers, knows how to put on a show at the rim. Even though he isn't as explosive as he was, say, on January 18, 2014, PG-13 is still one of the best dunkers in the NBA. However, at the time of this dunk, George was on his way into his prime and had led the Pacers to being one of the best teams in the league back then. When PG's team played the Lob City Los Angeles Clippers, whose star dunker was Blake Griffin, it was as good a time as any to get Indianapolis excited and ready. The All-Star was then able to get the ball on a fast break and dunk it all by himself on one side of the court. That is something that usually only happens in NBA slam dunk contests, and it is, without a doubt, one of the best dunks in the game. Since then, artists have gone on to even animate the dunk. After all, we don't see a 360-degree windmill dunk often in the game. Now moving on to the top 3, we have Shaquille O'Neal on Chris Dudley. Shaq has already been on this list, so it's clear that when he was at his best, he was a force to be reckoned with and almost impossible to stop. Some might argue that if he decides to come out of retirement, he'd be a force to be reckoned with even today. Back then, he was not only one of the best centers of all time, but he may also have been one of the most entertaining basketball players ever. The Diesel's best and most disrespectful dunk ever happened on March 28, 1999. His slam on New York Knicks center Chris Dudley was a powerful two-handed slam, and O'Neal finished it by swinging toward Dudley and pushing him down. Dudley was clearly very angered by Shaq's move, and when he got up, he even tried to throw the ball at Shaq as a way of getting back at him. One NBA fan said on Twitter that it was the most disrespectful dunk of all time. Many called it just nasty, and it's hard to say anything different. At number 2, Julius Erving rocks the baby. Julius Erving's classic slam on January 5th, 1983 is the most iconic dunk in the history of the NBA. It set the world on fire and gave basketball fans something they had never seen before. Fans of the Philadelphia 76ers went crazy when Dr. J dunked this legendary ball, but they couldn't have known how legendary this moment was. Dr. J is arguably one of the best players of all time. He always puts on a show for NBA fans, but this dunk was just something else, his biggest and best. Erving's Rock the Baby Slam could possibly be number 1 on the list of best dunks for many people. They won't be wrong, as it could be seen as the first of many flashy dunks that came after it. That leaves us with only the best dunk in the world. Now, finally, the best dunk of all time, DeAndre Jordan on Brandon Knight. As iconic as Dr. J's dunk was in 1983, DeAndre Jordan's poster on Brandon Knight 30 years later was even better. On March 10, 2013, the former center for the Los Angeles Clippers lived up to the nickname Lob City, better than Blake Griffin ever did. Griffin was known for his dunks, and he has done a lot that could have made the list, but Jordan's poster of the former Detroit Pistons guard is just the best. The dunk was so brutal that fans started blasting Twitter with RIP Brandon messages. Jordan made a spectacular play, and we're sure even after many years, people will remember his dunk, and his stank face after the fact says it all. Basketball fans love it so much because of the great dunks. That's a wrap for the list and this video. Did you enjoy our list, and what other dunks do you think should have made it to the list? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.